It was a lot of fun. It was challenging. It is the most difficult thing I've done so far, but yeah, everybody did such a fantastic job.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Mauricio Donoso. How are you doing today?
I'm doing
Today,
pretty good. I feel fantastic now that the film's finally out.
yes, today we're going to be talking about your experience filming The Last View.
Yeah.
And that is quite a short film, I must say. I really enjoyed it. It has some twists and turns for audience out there who have not been able to see it. Go
Mhm.
check it out on YouTube. Dark Mind Productions, filmmaker Chris Barcia did this. And I guess my first question for you is when were you first approached with this project?
I don't recall, but I know we had maybe just a couple of months, I could say, just to kind of get the ball rolling. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of maneuvering with crew as well that we had to kind of gather together. And when you see the film, I think it's a wonderful thing to see the production behind it. But on the back end, there was not a lot of crew there. So I take a lot of pride in that we got to make a short of that caliber with barely nobody.
Yeah, I mean, you're like the only character in a way, and I've
Yeah.
seen you play many roles. How was it? I guess the influences on this role, what influenced you playing this character? Because I've seen you play many roles and you've transformed in this movie
Mm.
where I don't see you. Like
Oh,
right now, as I see you, like it's like, wow, who is this guy? You became a completely different character here. I believe that you probably lived out in the wilderness in a tent. Did you actually go homeless for this or no?
well, in a way, um, what appealed to me for that was I think what I was just feeling in the moment. I kind of, at that time, I wasn't acting or doing film, so to say, so I felt very lost. And when Chris approached me with it, I actually said no to it because I really didn't want to do acting anymore. But it took a little bit of convincing, and even my girlfriend was the one that really pushed me to do it because I once I read it a couple of times, I really resonated with the character, and I wanted to go through that transformation. I did another film with Chris, which was Extreme Gaze, and I went into a mohawk and tattoos and all that. But I just felt that this character, besides the transformation, it was more so of what he was feeling, and I just thought I could really pull it off. And it's the hardest thing I've done to date. So that was challenging more than anything.
Wow, you made it seem seamless. And do you think maybe your experience as a filmmaker yourself and a writer kind of helped you find the truth of this character, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Especially with what it had to deal with. I liked how Chris was explaining a little bit more in detail of what this character was going through, like the backstory. And I put a little bit of a backstory to it too. But yeah, for sure, there was a lot of that.
That's crazy. So you filmed 2 days. So how was it like filming out there in the woods and everything?
It was a little chilly, but it the funny thing was is we weren't entirely in the woods. It's more so the illusion because the beginning of the film where I'm in the tent, we're actually in front of where Chris lives because he lives in a complex, and there's just
Right.
I, I find it very hilarious looking at it because of where we shot so many things. I could just pinpoint, oh, okay, this is this, and it's just a grand illusion, which I love. So we filmed in a couple of places though with that.
Wow, because I could not tell as a viewer. And that's funny. I guess like when you work on a film, you're aware of all that stuff. You're aware
Yeah.
of like the tricks behind the illusion, you know. Like we
Mhm.
all think it's all in the wilds, like this is filmed in some parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you like pick your own clothes or did you have like a costume designer, you know, or
No, that was all
trimmers?
Chris. We went to the store and he just started pinpointing things out. I gave my input, sort of say, but he was the one who had the final say in everything. So that was all his idea.
Wow, because like it
Hmm.
really felt like a world lived in, you know.
Yeah.
To me, like it's just like, wow, I believe that this guy is like out here by himself, been living off scraps of humanity, what was left of
Mhm.
humanity, you know. That was just crazy seeing that. And I guess with the script, not to give away any spoilers, but what did you think about the reveal towards the end of the short? What was your first reaction, I guess, reading that and then seeing it on the film?
I thought it was very impactful. I really wasn't expecting it. I was expecting something else, and I was wrong about that. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I like where you think something might be going, but it's actually something else. I like that little twist in the genre more than anything.
Yeah, it harkened back to a lot of like 1950s cinema at
Yeah.
the end there, you know.
Hmm.
And I love that. I mean, that could be explored in a larger feature film, I think.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris before about that idea, but I don't know if he would have an idea for a feature, or I think he did, but that would be very interesting to do.
It would, because like there's elements that remind me of 50s sci-fi with a bit of like I Am Legend, you know, in
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I totally got that vibe when I first saw this, but it was just beautifully shot. How was the experience making this film? How does it compare to making your other films, you know, acting or directing?
Well, on the acting side, it was just challenging because we didn't have crew at all. It was literally Chris directing, DP. We were carrying a whole bunch of things on location. It was more so just Chris, myself, sound, and makeup, and that's it.
Wow.
For the ending, that I won't give away, it was funny enough. Chris was directing, right behind the camera, and holding boom. So that was, if you saw, I wish we had a picture of it.
Right.
That was the most craziest thing I've seen so far. I really couldn't believe the lengths that we went to capturing that. But if we didn't capture it at that time, I don't think it would have worked. But major, major props.
Wow, that is like true guerrilla filmmaking right
It
there.
was, yeah, it was.
It's like a one man crew. I mean, I've been there
Hmm.
before.
Hmm.
Like, it's not easy doing sound and everything, like checking lighting, doing sound. I guess in there, you kind of had to wait on natural lighting with like the weather too when you filmed
Hmm.
outside.
Oh yeah,
For a cloud to pass, or if it gets overcast or chilly, or if there's sun, how much daylight do we have left to
yeah.
shoot in, you know?
It's the
It's
continuity
incredible.
more than anything that kind of ruins it.
Yeah, you have to think about that. And
Yeah,
that's a lot for you guys to do in just 2 days.
yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize when they see like films, let alone shorts, how much work is put into those, you know,
Hmm.
even during a short filming period.
I do find the beauty in that though, where if the audience can't tell and it just seems seamless, then we did the job. Now, there are some cases where we might film a month later, and sometimes you might see something off, or maybe just from behind the scenes, people might see that, and the audience might not. But I think it does enhance or kind of ruin the experience.
Well, yeah, that's like one thing that like us filmmakers kind of like notice. And then we're like, we're always harping on it. And then like the average viewer is just like, what are you talking about? The vehicle, was that Chris's vehicle too? Or
The car? No, that was my car.
oh, that was your car. Oh, that was
Yeah,
cool.
we unfortunately just messed the car up, which was hilarious, but it was worth it. It's in the film.
Would you ever look forward to acting again in a role like this, whether it be a follow-up feature film or like another genre-based feature?
Sure, I don't see why not. I think there's always room for those type of characters in any type of genre. Now, would I go back to the Lone Man specific? Of course, just because I think it would be very interesting to kind of see the prequel, or maybe on a grander scale, and kind of what happens at the end and exploring a little bit of that. But yeah, I've never been somebody who would never want to reprise, or maybe I don't know. But I think just for this story in specific, I think it was right the length time, and we just got to. It was more so of the message of what it was trying to convey as well that really resonated. Um, Obviously, I don't want to give it away, but uh, I think it was just a time capsule for me that I could kind of see in what I was going through in those times. It was a lot of fun. It was challenging. It is the most difficult thing I've done so far, but yeah, everybody did such a fantastic job.
Do you and Chris have any other future projects, or you in particular have any future acting projects you're looking
Oh,
forward to?
we have a lot of things. Chris is right now going to be working on one of the biggest things I think he's done, and I'm going to be a part of that. And I'm getting, I'll just say, I'm going to start training in June all the way until October or November.
Wow.
But that I think it's going to be the most intense thing that you will see me in, and that will be another transformation. As for me, yeah, I have. Well, right now I'm working on another script, and I have my film that hopefully will be coming out in July. I'll have a premiere for that, but then we'll just send it to festivals, and hopefully in the next year it will release. But I'm very excited, and there's a lot of big things coming. I just can't say them yet.
I can't wait to see him, and I'm sure the audience out there will love to see him as well. Tell everyone where they could find you and Chris.
Chris is located on Dark Mind Productions on Instagram. I'm located on Instagram as well at Movie Minders.
Everyone out there can check out The Last View on YouTube.
I think it's gonna be hitting 1,000 views already, and that's impressive in of itself.
Wow, already?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
that's
so
fast.
happy. Yeah, I'm happy that hopefully people like it. They got invested in it. It's really cool seeing.
Awesome. It's been great talking to you. And
Likewise.
actually, you know what? For people who have seen it, we're gonna have a spoiler section here. Just
Ooh, okay. Oh, let's go. All right.
I know you were talking to me earlier about like where you thought the story was going.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to when you found out that aliens invaded Earth?
So funny enough, I thought because this is what I was talking about with Chris. The way that it was pitched, it felt more of like I Am Legend type of thing. So I thought it was more so of zombies, or I never expected aliens. And he showed me this little, how do you say this, this prop of a UFO on what he had in mind. I was like, no way. But are we? Because I thought we were actually going to show maybe a glimpse of what they might look like. But it was more so, no, we're just going to show the ship and you're going to be killed off. And I was like, oh, okay, I like this. This is cool.
Wow, you know, you could almost pull like an Evil Dead retcon where your character survived, but he's abducted, and you could
Yeah.
like see the aliens on the ship, and it's like him trying to get out of the ship at the beginning of the next movie. I don't know. That's if y'all pull like an Evil Dead 2 retcon. What was your reaction to when you actually saw the finished product and saw the alien spaceship?
So the beauty about filmmaking is that, well, I mean, I have the nice opportunity to be behind the scenes, especially with Chris, and he shows me from beginning to end in or some clips, and I saw the first render of that ship
Oh
to
wow.
what it was now, and the whole beam on. Yeah, I thought it was breathtaking. I thought it was so cool. The first version, it was a very interesting one more than anything. It wasn't what you saw in the final thing.
Right.
But I was very intrigued. It was so cool. What's funny though about that, filming it more than anything, was me getting abducted. When you're acting, I heard the direction of, okay, cool, you're getting zapped and all that. It looks so ridiculous because there's nothing there.
Right.
So
Your
yeah, I'm just
imagination has to just go to work of like what is going to be here.
exactly,
We'll
and
fix
it's
it in post.
exactly, and especially from because we were filming it on wide, and Chris was all the way far, and I couldn't hear him really. You have everybody who was there, maybe 4 or 5 people watching, and we were filming that on a beach. So some people were kind of passing by, and they saw me in the makeup. They actually thought it was homeless, which was great. But having an audience see you get abducted, oh my god, it's embarrassing. But once you hear action, you just sort of forget about everything
Right.
and just kind of go and let the film do its thing, and hopefully it comes out great. But it came out awesome.
Yeah, I thought so. Like that was impressive for such a short film done in such a short time and a short budget, you know? Like I was not expecting that at all when you're watching
Mhm.
the film. And I think what also like stuck the landing too was Chris using that close up of the newspaper in the wind. That
Yeah,
gave me some like War of the Worlds vibes right there, where it's just like, okay, this is like 50s sci-fi horror there.
it kind of harkens back to that, the way that it was filmed. And the awesome thing about that, it was just a one take thing. He just sets it up right there, a newspaper right there, and the wind just blew it right off. It was just a one take thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, the movie gods were with y'all on that day. Oh, yeah, that was such a crazy revelation, and I can't wait for people to see this. And if you've watched this spoiler section without seeing the film, shame on you. Go watch the short film.
yeah,
But
it's fantastic. You know what it is too? I like that the movie just kind of gets going. You're in this
right,
scenario, and all right, cool. You just see this homeless guy, and he's running away from something, but you really don't know what it is. There's some
right.
shots that I like that it implies what it might be, but you really don't know, and I
Yeah,
really
you
like that.
don't.
Yeah,
And it's cool because then, like, once you do know, it can kind of affect your viewing the second time because
right.
it's like, "Oh, that's why the car went out," and then
Yeah.
there's other things there and why he's, like,
Mhm.
so scared and he's, like, in the tent looking at the sky and everything.
Yeah.
I love that. I also love to going with the set design too, like, the objects you found from, like, the collapse of civilization when you're looking at the old book and stuff, that was,
Yeah.
really well done as well to show you, like, "Hey, this is what happened," and he's just, like, in a world by himself that's just left behind. He's left behind in a world that's left behind. There's no
Yeah.
humanity.
I the one thing I would have loved if we filmed it was Chris. We were toying with this idea of doing a flashback. It would have felt kind of like a Quiet Place type of scenario, like the day one film that's about to come out. So, but we never got to it. It would have been more expensive. I'm like, damn.
Well, if you ever do the feature film, I mean, you could even do the prequel or
Yeah,
even have it where it's like prequel and sequel in a way, like Quiet Place Part
exactly,
2, and they actually show the invasion at the beginning and the baseballs.
exactly.
Yeah.
The prequel would be the first view.
Yeah. 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 The
Oh
first view.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
First and last
Mhm.
view.
Mhm.
Then
No, yeah.
the middle part be the view. No, I'm kidding. No.
Yeah,
But
exactly, yeah. No, but yeah, it was a challenging film more than anything. Like, when I see it, I remember vaguely doing the rehearsals more than anything. I had kind of trouble finding the character,
right.
especially in rehearsals, because 'cause I'm not a trained actor, but my training is doing these films. So when I got back into acting, it was very hard finding it. We even have some behind the scenes of me rehearsing,
Wow.
and it for me, the way that I do it is I have to put on the wardrobe, the beard, whatever, just to kind of not see myself. And then from then on, it's just a film that takes over. I hear action, and I just kind of try to go for it,
Yeah, you immerse yourself in the role, and I think,
immerse it.
like,
Yeah,
whether you have training or not, I think an actor's job is to kind of draw from experience, but also finding
yeah,
the truth of a scene or the truth of this character and the truth of a
hmm,
moment,
yeah,
and I think you brilliantly do that, and I think too, your experience as a writer and director probably helped as a
yeah,
storyteller, basically,
hmm,
'cause it's all the same thing, it's just different parts of storytelling
yeah.
and certain moments and conveying certain emotions and moods with characters, but,
Do you have a favorite scene?
do I have a favorite scene? For some reason, I love the opening tent scene where you're looking through the book passages, just like frantically. Like there's something about that because you don't know what it's about when you first watch
Hmm.
it. So I'm like, you just like you said, the actions just you don't have to spoon feed the audience. You just go straight in, and a lot is conveyed with just actions. You show, you
Yeah.
don't tell, and that is great. And I feel like this film is a perfect length. So like, I love the opening with the tent, and then with the filming I love that ending with the ship and everything, of course.
Hmm.
But another frantic scene that I loved was shot in your acting was also when you just have to get the hell out of Dodge and you're in your car and you're just like panicking. Like, I just have to get out
Oh
of here like
man.
right now. I love
Yeah.
the way that was shot all handheld and then you're acting
Hmm.
there. And then also the cut that was used to like, oh shit, my car's dead. you know?
Yeah.
It's, it's like, what do you do now?
That scene, the car scene, was challenging because we filmed for almost the whole day,
Right.
and we were running out of time because the sun was going down. But more so, seeing it in the film, it feels so intense. I was more so exhausted doing that scene with the whole yelling. I did that twice because the first time I was laughing so hard because in that take I completely lost it and the wig fell off.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so I'm like, all right, we have to go again.
So you actually had, like, a wig and everything.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I had the wig. That's why we put on the hat because the wig kind of didn't fit me. So I just had to slick my hair back and we put on the wig. The beard, we just covered this part because I didn't shave for it at all. But there was a lot of glue.
Wow, because like, for a second, I was like, "Man, you really went all method and just grew everything out." That was a really good job done
It's
on the
fantastic.
costuming and makeup there, I have to say. Because I was just like, "Damn, what happened to Mauricio? He just really, like, let himself go and go all homeless."
See, if I had that opportunity there, like if I was able to grow all that, I would have for that. It's just it makes it more immersive. And well, actually, I don't. Would I have let it go? Yeah, I say no, I wouldn't, but yeah, I probably would.
Well, anyway, it was great talking to you about this film. I can't wait for everyone to see it and rewatch it after seeing the spoiler section. And yeah, I can't wait to see the wonderful work you do as an actor and
Oh,
filmmaker
thank you.
after this. I mean, you and Chris are so damn talented, and every one of your projects are always so different from the previous one. And that's a rare thing these days, just to have like a filmography that's just so unique and
Yeah.
different and delving into different genres and tones, you know. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you movie minder dark minds come up with next.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it as well because there's a lot of big things happening. And from when we started, whether it's Chris on Chris's channel or mine, there's so much growth that it's insane. And from these upcoming projects, yeah, you're gonna see what these when we start to film these things, it's gonna blow everything out of the water for sure.
Oh man, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, we can't wait to make them, but we're also gonna be in that struggle with that filmmaking stress. But it's a beautiful thing.
It's funny because like each film's almost feels like a war where it's like I don't want to ever do this in my life again, and then you just get that itch, that hunger to be like, you know what? Let's just try one more. You know, let's just keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Especially when you do takes as well, you know you already got it, but you just you don't want to just end it there. You just want to see that scene on repeat or never end that experience.
Right, and I also think that helps too with, like, post-production because you never know, like, a small moment that might actually, like, enhance something. Just as like, "Oh, we got the take just like the script," but there might be something extra in there
Of
that just,
course.
like, you see a bit different or just enhances a certain scene. It's a great talk, and everyone check out The Last View on YouTube here, and check out Chris and Mauricio's films and channels. Follow them. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Till next time.